ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV.
What's good, people? Let's finish this off with a little review. We just listened to the replacements. Let me just get that sorted. There we go. We've been listening to the replacements, and the record in question was recommended on Patreon via MN Storm, so thank you for that. I appreciate the recommendation. The album was called Sorry Ma, Forgot to Take Out the Trash, which, you know, is quite a forgettable album title, to be honest. So as far as being a lyrical miracle is concerned, it is unique, but I always have to double check to ensure I've got the title right. So that's not fantastic, but this album was good, and it's really tickled my brain as far as what comes next in this band's discography, because I've never really checked out the replacements. Only since actioning this YouTube channel, I have come across references to the replacements. Other than that, I've never come across them, or at least not been prompted to listen to them in such a direct manner. 18 tracks on this record, so there's plenty of material. Great song lengths, at least for myself, because, you know, we're looking at, call it an average at 1 minute 30 to about 2 minute 10 as far as average song lengths are concerned. So many different style and unique factors, so many different influences and inspirations in this band, which create what we have had on this record. Some great bluesier elements, some upbeat elements, a lot of rock and roll, a lot of unique guitar work, a lot of unique bass lines, a lot of great vocal hooks. Okay, some songs more hit, some songs more miss. It depends on what your personal taste is. There's a little something for everybody here as far as fans of punk rock should be concerned. I like the more upbeat, energetic, driving forward sounds they have created on some of their shorter tracks, whereas they have earned it into a more songwriting sense of responsibility on some of the longer songs. But overall, they still throw in a good vocal hook. They still know how to have you singing along before the end of the song, and so there's a great potential that's showcased in this band, as well as a great reality of the craft and musicianship of the actual band members. You know, I like the record. Will I return back to this record? No, I won't return back to this record because, generally speaking, I don't return to many records, first and foremost. And secondly, because this style of punk, this style of hardcore is a little dated for me. When I was initially getting into hardcore and the likes, and I was going into the bands of the early 80s and the Americanized bands of the early 80s when it came to hardcore punk, you know, when I was younger, I felt a sense of pride of listening to the roots of what had become the scene I was participating in, and I found an air of pride in being aware and understanding of that style of music. Back then, maybe one or two of these tunes I'd have on, my playlist, but as of right now, I prefer a bit more of a polished sound, a bit more of an upfront sound. And as far as punk and hardcore is concerned, it's incredibly rare for any band nowadays to get a spin from me more than once, in all honesty, because I like to listen to the classics of softer styles of music. And I know it's King of the Pit TV, all right? I'm still in love with this music, but it's just my personal preference in this day and age. So, my favourite tune was possibly Shut Up. I reckon so, yeah, because I like the intensity of the vocals. He really upped the degree of attack on the vocals in that song in particular, and I like that. That tickled me a little more so than the softer sense of things, but I've got no problem with the softer vocals. If I'm going to give this album a rate, I'll probably give it a 5 out of 10. Give it a 5 out of 10. It wasn't a bad record, but it was a bit too varied, although it showed a great spectrum of capability. The energy wasn't concentrated in one particular manner enough, which is good in regards to it not being boring. It doesn't get boring because you're awaiting the next track to see what ideas they've come up with, but it can, be a miss as well as a hit. depending on what song you come up to and what your personal tastes are. I am really looking forward to checking out more of the Replacements because I want to see where they went from here. And from what I'm aware, they've had a couple more records, or at least YouTube-related videos are telling me that. So that's going to be good. And on that note, I'm going to sign out, people. One love.